Hey, what's going on? It's the Green Okie coming back at you again with another video breakdown. So in today's video, we're going to actually go over why does English suck in Japan? Why is it why is it so frustrating? Oh man. I'm getting post-traumatic teaching effect just by thinking about it. But let me go on. Let me go on. So like I said, my primary position when I was in Japan was an English teacher, and for the most part, I loved it. But there was some glaring shortfalls or shortcomings that I witnessed while teaching, and I just kind of want to go over that with you. Like I said, we're gonna go over the culture of Japan first. So, the culture of Japan, right? Like I said in previous videos, it's this hi bye culture. You just saying hi and bye, right? Konnichiwa, ohayo gozaimasu, hey, kyotsukete ne, and that you go on about your business, see how you doing, you go on about your business. Help if you can. Um, but like I said, Western society over here, hey, what's going on? How's she doing? Well, what's your baby daddy been up to? Oh man, has he paid the bill? Is she still got you on child support? Are you gonna be able to make it through it? Starts going in real deep, right? Start getting into your business and sparks up some conversation, right? And there it is right there. Sparks up some conversation. When you're over there in Japan, you don't really want to spark up conversation that really lasts too long, because it goes into the culture of saving face. So if I'm going to say something that will maybe make me look like a fool, or maybe make me embarrassed, then that's kind of breaking the culture of Japan, right? So that's the whole thing, right? Whenever you are teaching English, you're teaching these students to go into this culture that is not of their own. And you're forcing them to do things that will be counterintuitive to Japanese culture and customs. You see? So it's like, oh my God, like, am I even Japanese anymore if I do this? You see? So it's this there's this real dilemma, if I should say, of basically learning English as students, because the more English that they learn, the less Japanese they become, in a sense, because it's like, oh, okay, well, Japanese people would never would never do this, and Japanese people would never go about saying that, and Japanese people, they don't typically function like this. So it's like, wow, it's like I have broken every single tradition that I have as a Japanese person, right? So it's like, okay, does anything matter anymore? And that is the question right there, you see? So now, if you got these students wondering, or questioning, should I say, if they start to question in English culture, or in American culture, in Western culture, I can question this and it'll be okay. And I can say no to this and it'll be okay. I can do this and I'll still be accepted by a sizable amount of society. You see? And that right there, that's very detrimental to the culture. You see? By you learning English means that it's going to be detrimental to your own culture, then it's always going to be a problem if you're trying to teach it. It's almost like you're peer pressuring students to basically, can I say, rob a bank with you. You know, like, hey, I know, I know, I know we have to rob this bank, but hey, just do it, all right? Just do it. And it's just like, for them, it's like robbing a bank because they just don't say those things and they don't do those things because of the respectability culture and the save face culture that they have in their society. So if you try to bring up maybe some topics, you know, it pretty much just has to be surface value or some type of maybe slapstick comedy, you know. Anything kind of more than that is gonna be, can I say, frowned upon or maybe second guessed and questioned, because it's like, why is my child learning this? Why does my child need to learn this? You see? And you know, as you actually go through the Japanese school system, you know, for the year, you see what type of topics that they talk about. Is everything is kind of like politically correct. Everything is meant to be very feasible to Japanese students to digest and learn. I mean, they even have Martin Luther King over there, you know. He was part of their public school lessons in Japan, you know. They had him over there, and I felt really good because if they had a lesson on him, then you know, why are we quick to remove African American history or foundational Black American history from, you know, the school system, right? But that's neither here nor there, you know. That's another video. I digress, you know. But that's the whole thing, is that we're teaching a culture that is just known for questioning, even disrespecting to a point to get to the truth, you know. And we're going to another culture that's based on respect and tradition, you see. So if you're trying to blend those two, it's like oil and water, right? You know, they won't mix, right? And this is the stagnation of teaching English in Japan. This is basically kind of what relegated me to just teaching, you know, the hokey pokey and head, shoulders, knees, and toes, head, shoulders, knees, and toes type of lessons, you know, because if you try to go any deeper than that, it just doesn't work, you know. Now they can go to a cram school and, you know, and learn more and stuff like that in depth, but in a public school system, I think sometimes maybe I didn't see these students once every 3 weeks, you know, or once every 2 weeks, you know. So how much can you really retain trying to learn a language once every 2 weeks, you see? How much can you really speak it? You're not speaking any English, and then 2 weeks later, hey, do you remember that lesson I was telling you about 2 weeks ago? And like, no. Yeah, I barely remember it too. I haven't seen you in 2 weeks. And there you go again. You're starting from ground zero. And especially when you're dealing with elementary kids, you know. So, and they're not speaking English. They're still speaking Japanese, right? So you go day by day, and they it's just unnecessary. Why are we teaching English to students who may create the next Toyota? Why are we teaching English to students who may create the next PlayStation? Why are we teaching English to students who may create the next big anime? You see what I'm saying? They, in all sense of the, they don't have an incentive to really learn English, you know? what is their incentive? Even me coming over there proves it. Going over there teaching them English, right? So that's the whole thing with them. That's why English, it really sucks in Japan, because you feel powerless to actually teach it the way it's supposed to be taught, but you can only go so far as the culture will allow you to. You see, and what also hurts teaching English in Japan is the experiences. See, throughout most of our times in life, we learn English the best sometimes if we can peg it to an experience. And a lot of Americans, we got some messed up experiences, um, you know, falling, heartbreak, adventure and stuff like that, and these things that we do on a regular, but it may not be so regular for Japanese people to relate with, so you have to relate it back to them, but it's still, they still may not be able to relate all the way, because even in certain areas, it still has to be localized to where they can kind of peg in, like, oh, okay, yeah, my grandmother and my grandfather did this and that. So, okay, I understand now. I can use this word. I know what this word means, right? So that's the whole thing. Lack of experiences, uh, culture clash, and basically um, limited access to teach English on a regular basis. Those are the reasons why teaching English in Japan sucks.